Well, hey guys, what's up? What is going on out there this afternoon? It is Brent Abel here, WebTennis.com. Another episode of the Tennis Mindset Project. A little tough love every afternoon. Today we are live, 2:30 in the afternoon Pacific time zone, which is our regularly scheduled time. Last couple of days, Saturday, Sunday, I had to do a pre-record because I had a couple of doubles matches that had to be attended to. And yeah, my wife, Maya, and I are getting ready for the National Husband-Wife Grass Courts coming up here a week from today. So we're putting a little bit of extra time on the court, getting ready for that, and looking forward to that. It's going to be a lot of fun. Today, I'm going to talk to you about something about why you need to become slightly obsessed. Oh yeah, and there's one main reason why. This is all based on the assumption that you really are kind of interested, curious, want to see just how good of a tennis player you can become, and that's really a noble quest, a noble venture to go on. Sometimes it's an adventure, but look, there's nothing wrong with trying to see just how good you can become as a tennis player. And once you make that decision that that's what you're going to do, it's going to take some extra time. Might take a little sacrifice here and there of things that you might have to abstain from. And it could be that, could be in the kitchen area, right? What you don't eat, what you do eat, what you don't drink, what you do drink, whatever. But there comes a moment when you make the decision, I'd like to explore that area to see just how good I can become as a player. And once you make the decision, there's going to be some roadblocks. And I'm going to talk about one of them in just a second. Let me pull up my little cheat sheet here today for you. And we will start here. And look, just a quick reminder before we get into it today. Every morning, daily, 8 o'clock a.m. Pacific time zone, a new episode of What's the Right Shot. If you're brand new to web tennis, welcome. I do 2 shows every day, one at 8 in the morning Pacific time zone, and then this one, 2:30 in the afternoon. They're most of the time live, but once in a while I got to pre-record. But anyway, the What's the Right Shot episodes, I cherry pick one point. Either match one of my matches or someone else's match. I just pick out one point and I run the video until one of the players is about to play their shot. I pause the video and ask you, the viewer, what do you think is the right shot? And the right shot is really based on 2 things. Number one, shot choice. Where do you want the ball to land over there, right? And then where do you want to move to next on the court to enhance the quality of the shot that you just played? And I think way too often that what we do is we get so wrapped up in stroke technique, thinking that if we just work like a dog on improving our forehand, improving our backhand, that we can eventually perfect it to a point that anytime the ball's over on the right-hand side, right-handed player, oh, it's a forehand. I've practiced so much, I ought to be able to find either up the line or cross court or somewhere where I can hit this shot so well. Because I've drilled so much, I've perfected it, it's not coming back. No one's ever done that. Maybe you'll be the first, but I doubt it. Right? So really what we need to be considering here is court position. And court position as part of your shot choice is huge. And so this is really a great way for you. I'm getting a little distracted here with the comments, which I will get to in just a second. But this is a great way for you to understand more about how to play the game of tennis rather than just being a hitter of the tennis ball. So again, every morning, 8 a.m. Pacific time zone, there you go. So let's talk about this today before. Hey, Mark, thanks for joining again live. Appreciate that. Always good to have you on board. William, how much did high altitude training contribute to your great results? Not much, because I didn't spend, I'm born and raised in Berkeley, California. There's not much altitude there, right by the San Francisco Bay. And right now here in the California desert, by Palm Springs, Rancho Mirage, I don't know what the altitude is here, maybe a couple hundred feet. So yeah, I do go to Colorado in the summers and in the fall, but don't really compete there. I do work out a few times a week with a friend of mine on the court, but I would say not a lot. But hey, look, in terms of training, in terms of fitness, high altitude stuff, You can't beat it. It's unbelievable. And I'll tell you one thing that I love to do when we are in Colorado, and we're at the house we're building is a little bit over 8,000 feet. It's 8,100 feet. You talk about some training opportunities in terms of gym work, and in terms of mountain biking. Man, it's it's different at 8,100 feet for sure. So great question. Thank you. Um, Look, you have to be slightly obsessed because, and again, you have to be slightly obsessed based on the assumption that you want to explore new heights, new levels, new skill levels in your tennis game just to see how good you can become. I think it's fine to say that you've got a goal that you want to, you want to, if you're looking on the national level, you be able to win a bronze, a silver, a gold ball. Okay, that's fine. That's great. But I think a better goal is the process that you need to go through to be able to see how good a tennis player you can actually become. And all those results, being, a ball, gold ball, silver, bronze, winning a tournament, getting a new rating label, all that stuff is just going to happen if you put in the time, if you do the process to become a better player. And so, and here's the kicker, and it always has been for me, and I think for a lot of players as well. Once you make that decision, I'm going to go for it. I'm going to see how good I can get. Is the first few days, man, you're just fired up and motivated, even though you might be a little tired. God dang it, I got a plan. I'm going to go. I'm executing the plan. And then somewhere down the road, and it's not very long down the road, all of a sudden you wake up that one day, you go, God dang it, just not feeling it today. And if 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 that's easy at that point to take a day off, or if it's easy at that point to go, man, you know what? Maybe I really don't want to. I don't really care that much about getting good. Okay, I get it. That's why I think you got to be obsessed. I think you got to be a little bit insane. I think you got to do. I know you got to do the stuff that 95+% of the players who say they want to get good, you got to do what they won't do. And it's really on those days when you're just not feeling it. How do you go ahead and put in the work? Whether it's gym work, whether it's doing some drills in the court or whatever it is, how do you actually get going? Well, I mean, one of the things I learned from James Clear, who wrote the great book Atomic Habits, is you have to find something because you're going to have those days. And I have them a lot. I still have them all the time. And yet what I learned from him is that you got to find something that's so stupidly simple to do to get started that you could do this without even thinking about it, right? It'd be no big deal. So for me, it's pretty much going to put in, or it's deciding to go into the closet and get a new um, knee compression sleeve for my left knee. My left knee's not injured. It's not hurt. I don't have any pain, but it's structurally just a little bit weak because over the years, I've just taken a couple tumbles out there in the grass courts. I was going one way, decided to go the other way, and the knee just said, "No, you're not." So, and so again, distracted. So for me, that's it. Once I go into the closet and once I pull out the knee sleeve and once I put it on, that's it. I'm done. I know I'll do it. The next step for me might be to put on, the socks and the shoes. If I get that far, if I put on the knee sleeve and the socks and the shoes, I'm in. Even if I'm not feeling great, right? I'm in. I think that that is a level of obsession right there. That sounds pretty simple, but you just have to be able to do it if you really want to explore those new higher skill levels in how good a tennis player you could become. So um, motivation, I don't know. I'm easily motivated sometimes, and then most of the time I'm not motivated. Most of the time I have to go through my process of step one, step two, step three to be able to finally get out in the court or get in the gym and do what I want to do. And once I do that, it seems like most of that I really don't want to do the work today, most of that goes away. Maybe it takes me a little bit longer. Maybe it's 5 minutes, 10 minutes, or whatever. But once I'm into it, it's fine. Now, look, I'm not going to say that every day I go out there when I'm not feeling it, even though I'm out there and it's just great, man. I'm just fired up. I'm ready to go. There are lots of days when I'm on the court and I'm either playing practice stuff or doing drills where I'm a little sluggish. I'm a little logy. I'm a little half step slow, right? A hair lazy. But when those days are happening, all I tell myself is, look, man, this is just another great fitness opportunity. And so don't let this go by. You've gotten yourself out here. You put on the knee sleeve, you put on the socks, you put on the shoes, you got out here. You got through the first 10 minutes. All right, now you're 30 minutes into it. Still not what you would say, man, this is one of those days where I'm just feeling unbelievably great, right? But still, it's an opportunity for fitness. And I've done this so many times in practice matches. I go out there I just don't have it, right? I just don't have it. And so to me, I used to get really frustrated with that. Just thinking that, well, if I put on the knee sleeve, if I put on the socks, put on the shoes, I've been out here for 10 minutes and I get a little bratty, right? So I just realized that's part of the deal. That's part of the deal of exploring just how good a player you can become is doing that thing right there, which 95% of players won't do, even though they've said, yeah, I want to see how good I can get. Most players won't go to that obsessed, a little bit insane, a little bit over passionate level. And and if you're one of those guys who will do that, then man, the upside is just huge. And no one ever knows when it's going to happen, right? No one ever knows when all of a sudden you commit to doing this thing for a month, 6 months, 12 months. Now, the next thing you know is you're 3 years down the road and you're into a brand new age group, right? Senior tennis, we get every 5 years, we get a new age group. Now, all of a sudden, you're your first year in and you've been training like a dog for 3 years. And all of a sudden, you go, wow, I'm uh, I'm getting to balls that these guys don't get to. They're hitting shots that normally they would be coming in behind, but I'm getting over there. They're not coming in behind them. What's going on? Oh, I guess it's the last 3 years doing all those days when I just got a little obsessed, a little insane, and just did the work. Just simply did it. So this is a pretty common message, I know, but you got to figure out what works best for you. You got to figure out what is it that you can do. And if you haven't picked up Atomic Habits by James Clear, Atomic Habits meaning small little micro habits that when you do small little things, they turn into big results. Highly recommend you get the book. Mark just said, yeah, James Clear just came out today with a new app called Atoms. And yeah, no, I just saw that, Mark. Yeah, thanks for that. I haven't looked into it, but anyway, I would highly recommend that you get that book, Atomic Habits by James Clear. And you talk about such an actionable book, a clear understanding of how habits work and things that we can do to create habits, especially like what we're talking about today on those days when you're just not feeling it. So look, if you got any questions, you want to keep it private, just shoot me an email, brent@webtennis.com. Yeah, the email's right there in front of me. And if you want some inspiration, if you want some motivation, let's do it. Just hit me up, and I'm happy to spend some time doing that with you. Um, the bottom line, though, is that I think you have to eventually come up with a process for what are you going to do on those days. And once you get into this thing, I mean, I'm telling you, you're going to have probably more days once you're into it where you just don't feel like doing the work today. And and that's fine because one of the great satisfactions, at least for me, and I know for a lot of other players, not only in tennis but in other fields, whatever they are, whether it's business or athletics or whatever it is doing the work on those days when you just don't feel like it. And by the end of that day, when you've done it, man, it is so freaking satisfying. It's just so good. So that's today's message. Look, any comments, any questions? Like I said, you can keep it private, brent@webtennis.com. Or if you want to just leave a message down below in the comments area, feel free to do that as well. Guys, thanks for hanging out with me this afternoon. As always, it's now time Now's the moment. We got to get out there. We got to help someone else have a great day. Guys, see you again next time.